5 things a foolish man always says. If you want to understand someone's character, don't judge their wealth or accomplishments, listen to their words. A man's speech reveals what's inside his mind and soul, just as rotten fruit reveals a sick tree. The Stoics believed careless words expose weakness and confusion. Today on Soul of Stone, we uncover 5 phrases that strip away the mask and reveal ignorance, arrogance, and insecurity. If you recognize these in yourself, it's a call to change. If you hear them from others, it's a warning about who you're dealing with. Number 1, it's not my fault. The first cry of a weak man is always blame. When life challenges him, his instinct isn't to reflect, it's to accuse. He points the finger at fate, at society, at family, at luck, anything but himself. But Stoicism teaches that true strength begins with responsibility, not excuses. Epictetus observed that it is the act of an ill-instructed man to blame others for his own bad condition. And as one learns, he begins to examine himself instead of others. And Marcus Aurelius taught a related truth. You have power over your mind, not outside events. When you internalize this, you stop letting circumstances determine your peace and strength. A weak person escapes responsibility because it feels heavy. Responsibility requires honesty, discipline, and courage. But a strong man embraces it because responsibility is the training ground for virtue. When he fails, he doesn't collapse into blame. He asks, "What can I learn from this?" When he stumbles, he considers, "How can I rise stronger?" And when he's wronged, he examines what within his control he can still improve. Blame is easy. Pointing outward is comforting because it protects the ego, but it also keeps you powerless. Ownership, taking responsibility for your actions, responses, and judgments is hard, but it makes you unstoppable. Because a man who owns his life owns his strength. Number 2, I already know that. The second sign of foolishness is arrogance disguised as knowledge. A foolish man cuts himself off before wisdom even begins by saying, "I already know that." He closes his ears, believing he has nothing left to learn, and in that moment, he stops growing. Stoic teachers warned us about this trap. As Epictetus taught, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. This ancient insight shows that assuming you've mastered a subject creates a barrier to real understanding. True growth requires humility, a willingness to listen, to question, and to be teachable. A foolish man clings to the illusion of mastery because it feels safe and certain. But that illusion blinds him to deeper truths and shuts the door on genuine improvement. By contrast, a wise man approaches life as an eternal student. He listens first and speaks later. He knows that even familiar lessons hold fresh insight when studied with an open mind. In the words often attributed to Socrates, humility is not weakness, it's the foundation of strength. The more you embrace what you don't know, the more room you create for real wisdom to grow. Number 3, that's impossible. The third phrase reveals defeat before the battle even begins. That's impossible. A weak mind sees challenges as walls, barriers that stop all effort before it ever starts. When a person says, "That's impossible," they have already surrendered. They've chosen fear over action, doubt over courage. Stoic philosophy teaches us that what seems impossible is often just the limit of our imagination and courage, not the reality of the task itself. The Roman thinker Seneca reminded us that it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Your hesitation and fear make challenges look larger than they are. When you refuse to attempt something, that reluctance builds the walls you feared. But when you try, You begin to chip away at those walls. The wise person knows that effort, even imperfect effort, opens doors. What once seemed unattainable becomes a new horizon. A man who always says, "That's impossible," experiences many small deaths of potential. But the man who says, "Let me try," discovers possibility where others saw only limitation. Number 4, I don't care. The fourth phrase may sound harmless, but it reveals deep weakness. I don't care. At first glance, it seems dismissive, but there's a Stoic nuance most people miss. Stoic philosophy did teach indifference, but not apathy. Stoic indifference was a noble detachment from things that do not define your character. Wealth, fame, approval, and other external outcomes. They recognized that such externals lie outside our control, and when overvalued, lead to suffering. To focus energy on what you do, control your thoughts, choices, and actions is the essence of Stoic strength. But when a foolish man says, "I don't care," he's not practicing wisdom, he's avoiding effort, responsibility, and purpose. He hides behind the phrase to escape involvement with life's challenges. Epictetus taught that we shouldn't expend energy on what lies outside our control, but we must care about what we can influence: our decisions, our discipline, and our integrity. Failing to invest in these things is not freedom, it's neglect. The fool uses "I don't care" as a way out. The Stoic uses it as liberation from illusion, freeing his mind from attachment to externals so he can focus on what truly matters: virtue, responsibility, and purposeful action. Number 5, what's in it for me? Finally, at the core of selfishness is the question, what's in it for me? A foolish man sees every situation as a transaction. Friendship, loyalty, kindness. Everything is judged by what he can gain personally. He measures value by return, not by meaning. But Stoic philosophy invites us to look beyond self-interest. Marcus Aurelius taught that we are part of something larger than ourselves, a shared human community, where our actions contribute to the whole, not just our personal benefit. He urged us to act with reason and compassion, recognizing our interconnectedness and common responsibility. Life isn't about endless taking, it's about what we give. A man who always asks, "What's in it for me?" may fill his hands with possessions, but he will still die empty at heart. On the other hand, a man who asks, "What can I give?" builds something enduring in himself and for others. Fulfillment comes not from accumulation, but from service, virtue, and the contribution we make to others' lives. A life measured by what you give is a life of deeper meaning, strength, and connection, the very essence of Stoic resilience and purpose. The Stoics remind us that words aren't just sounds, they're habits of thought made audible. What we say reflects what we think, and what we think shapes who we become. A foolish man exposes his weakness through careless speech, while a wise man, guided by philosophy, speaks with humility, responsibility, and virtue, the very qualities Stoicism teaches us to cultivate. Character shapes destiny, because our words and actions flow from the quality of our thoughts. At Soul of Stone, we believe that changing your words can change your destiny. When your language rises, your character follows. If you gained value from this, subscribe to Soul of Stone for more life-changing lessons from the Stoics. Let us walk together on the path of strength, discipline, and peace.